My therapist dropped me because he was developing feelings for me. For the past 2 years, my life has felt like a building collapsing around me in slow motion. The only thing keeping me pinned to reality, the only thread of hope I had left to hold on to, was dental school. It started when I finally broke free from a toxic, suffocating long-term relationship. The heartbreak shattered me completely, but it was only the first wave. The next year, the nightmare deepened. The orthodontist I was shadowing, a man I trusted with my future career, essayed me. Before I could even process that trauma, my own biological father crossed an unforgivable line, confessing that he was developing romantic feelings toward me. I had to cut him out of my life entirely. The grief and trauma buried me. I fell into academic probation, nearly getting kicked out of the one thing I had left. Then, cancer stole my uncle, the one man who had actually been a safe, loving anchor in my life. I was drowning. My mom finally begged me to see a therapist, and under his care, I slowly started to climb out of the dark. I made friends. My grades recovered. I felt happy again, so we began tapering off our sessions. But then, the atmosphere shifted. During one of our appointments, he suddenly told me we needed to see each other more frequently. His reasoning sent a faint chill down my spine. He said our bond wasn't as strong as it used to be. I brushed it off, desperately wanting to trust him. After all, he had pulled me back from the edge. But then came the texts. Every single week, after already saying goodbye in person, he would message me to say he couldn't wait for our next meeting. At our last session, the trap snapped shut. The office felt freezing, the air completely still as he sat across from me. For months, this room had been my sanctuary, but in a fraction of a second, it transformed into a trap. I've decided to stop counseling you, he said, his voice entirely too calm. My feelings towards you are crossing the line. A heavy, suffocating silence fell between us. My mind scrambled to process the words, my throat tightening. At first, a twisted wave of respect hit me. I thought he was being honorable. I thought he was recognizing a boundary and stepping back to protect me. But then he kept talking. The professionalism vanished, replaced by something dark and intensely intimate. Your lack of a father figure, it made me feel paternal toward you at first, he murmured, leaning in slightly, his eyes locked onto mine. But it developed into romance. It's similar to what your biological father felt. The room started to spin. Hearing him invoke my father, the ultimate betrayal of my past, felt like a physical blow to the chest. He wasn't apologizing. He was putting his hands up as if he were the victim of a spell I had cast. I just wish we had met under different circumstances, he continued, his tone dripping with a bizarre, unearned longing. As his rant went on, the sickening truth became impossible to ignore. He was subtly laying the wreckage at my feet. He was weaponizing my vulnerability, twisting my trauma, and blaming me for the boundary he chose to break. It was a phantom accusation. You were too broken. You made me love you. I wanted to scream. I wanted to demand how he could do this to me after everything I had survived. Instead, a terrifying numbness paralyzed my entire body. I couldn't form a sentence. I couldn't even cry. I just sat there, forced to swallow his confession, utterly powerless as the one safe person left in my world revealed himself to be just another predator.